Hey guys, welcome to a brand new episode of Pokemon Duel. Today we are talking strategy for the next team event. So Team Shiny, Team Charizard, get on board for some useful tips. Team Venusaur and Team Blastoise, keep your arms and legs outside of the goddamn vehicle. You are not on our team, we are against you. Now you can stay tuned for some helpful tips, but you ain't gonna win anyway. So it's looking that like Charizard is the more favourable team, and that places a bit of a difficulty on these events in that, you know, people, if you know, Team Rico, I think, and RX Gaming, they're both on Team Charizard. So once you see more people going towards Team Charizard, because obviously the rewards are going to be for the team who wins, maybe some rewards for Team Blastoise and Team Venusaur, that people will more likely to then jump on board. And then we're going to see that is it going to be the same team event each time? So I'm hoping that they change things up, like the next one might be Legendary Birds, so we could have Team Zapdos, Team Moltres and Team Articuno. I'd probably go for Team Zapdos because my boy, I cannot not go on his team, right? So what we're going to be going into is some helpful tips, just very simple tips, the basics sometimes, but what's going to help us just give that little bit of an edge if the game's out, the points are quite tight between us. So let's get into it. First of all, we're looking at the time boosters. So any boosters that you gain from the event will have half the time to unlock. So think about this in terms of strategy. If either we get them we get the points once we win a booster, or we get the points once we open a booster, and we might get different points for, you know, the black boosters, orange, blue. We don't have orange anymore, do we? Rainbow boosters, gold boosters. So it only says for those specific in the event. So do not leave 4 boosters like that just ready to pop before the event. What I'm going to be doing is probably not going to be playing too many league matches, just enough so I've got 1 booster always on the go. And I'm going to try and time it so that my last booster runs out 9 AM UTC. That way I'm going to have 4 empty slots and I can just get my booster and get that half time running straight away, so potentially racking more points up for our team. So think about that. It's just a very nice simple strategy as part of hopefully the mechanics of the game and how it's going to be run. So, and obviously you'll get more boosters as well. If you've got 4 like 24-hour ones, you won't be able to get through to them pretty much before to get to the halftime boosters. So get them hatching like that. So next up, let's just talk about strategy in terms of our figures that we're using. So with my figures going into, I'm probably going to be running this electricity deck because I'm loving it right now. So if you're going to be running, if you're hitting menu, if you're going to be running a deck and you've got something in your mind that you're consistently probably going to run, use this time to invest in the figures. So EX cubes and Carmenite and experience, getting them all to potentially level 5, level 4 at least. What have I got on 0? My filter's not right. So looking at my team, I have 2 EX cubes ready, just waiting to pop on something. So I've got Tapu Koko. If we're looking at, let's go to my deck because this is going to be easier. It'd be nice if you could have a deck filter, so you can actually just filter the Pokemon that you have in your deck. Just a nice little simple thing. So we've got 2 Zapdos. I probably definitely put an EX cube into into Zapdos. Let's make him chain level 7. Why not? I've got rare cubes that I can put into Jolteon, uncommon cubes that I can put into Chicorio. Don't know any of these Sun and Moon figures very well. Oricorio Pom-Pom style. So obviously you've seen that I've got her to level 10. I say her, it definitely looks like a her, but they can be male, female types. Tapu Koko is at level 4. So let's get, so basically I'm just gonna get all my experience and I'm gonna put them into these guys. So we're just putting the finishing touches into my figures. We've got 2 EX cubes to spend. One of them's going on Tapu Koko, I've decided, and I'm putting that into his 30 attack. Reason why? There's a lot of 30 figures now at the moment, and one of the biggest ones is Mew. Great counter to any 100 plus Pokemon, especially if they've got purple attacks. So I just want that to make him just that extra bit, give him that extra bit with a head-on-hand with if a Mew attacks him and he doesn't have that plus 30. Now another figure that I'm obviously going to put this into, no doubt, Zapdos. I'm so happy taking this guy to another level, chain level 7. Now with Oricorio in my squad, it does give me the ability to add, and when everybody's on the field, an extra 6 chain levels to my, so 6 points to my attack. So that taking Zapdos to 112 on the base if all my people are on the field, and that's why I'm also going to put a fair few more cubes into Jolteon. Now I took him to chain level 6, which gives him 43 and 33, which will take him to 49 with all on the field, which is what I don't want. I want him to get him over the cusp. So let's just take this guy, give him the rest of my rare cubes that I've acquired over the course of many gyms. You see my Gyarados, he's the one who got the bulk of them. I had a fair few left over, so I put them into him. Get that Thunder Jolt, so that's a 50. Quick attacks at 33. I'm going to put it into Thunder Jolt to give him that 51 attack, so he can just beat any 50s with no chain, with that extra 6 points. So, and with that, that's my whole squad buffed up. I chose to put my card 150 Carmenite. I put that into my Jolteon to increase his dodge because he's a nice runner, and those attacks aren't great and reliable against some of the higher level figures. It's got that nice yellow disc, but I most of the times I find myself in battles thinking hit dodge, hit dodge, hit dodge Jolteon. So hopefully that will give me a couple more odds. I was going to put them into my main man Tapu Koko, but I figured I'd only get 1 out of that, and Jolteon 3 works a bit better. So that's my deck. So that's tip number 1. Invest now into your deck to give us the best chance of getting wins. And remember, win rate is also taken into account, so it's not just how many games you play, it's how well you play them. Next bit, let's just talk strategy in terms of games. Let's just go through some basic things that we need to be watching out for. First of all, time. Let's make sure that we're always ahead of time. What it does obviously is give you that extra bit of advantage so you can win a game on time if it goes the distance. You can also put pressure on your opponent to make moves that aren't in favor of him, and those, you know, kind of risky pull one off in every 10 times RNG that you get, that will actually help you win more if you've got that little extra time bonus towards the end of the matches. So let's keep our time ahead. Next up, in terms of strategy in defending, so if we've got our gold block, if you've got gold block, then you have a little bit of extra leeway with that. I recommend when you have the gold block, don't put somebody on your goal if you don't need to. Put them to the side, so when you get somebody on, you've got that double. Having someone directly next to your figure in the goal block, next to your goal, is really good strong attack. So the line that's connected to the thing aside from the goal, get somebody there if you're defending in that 4-on-4 battle, and then try and advance with your 2 stronger. Make sure they're obviously a good defending Pokemon, big purple disc, blues, things like that. Next up, I think basic strats for me personally, have 2 3MP figures in your deck if you don't have gold block. And actually, if you put 2 3MP figures in your deck, it means that you can play without gold block, and therefore put it into double chances, hurdle jumps, things that will give you a lot more of an advantage going forward. And with those 3MP figures, the reason why I say have them in is from the off go, it means that if your first turn you can move 2 places, 2 MP with 1 figure, and get into a nice position to set up a strategy. Also, when you are doing that, you move your figure forward 2, and then you might pull the next one with your 2 MP aside. Sometimes if somebody's got a Sceptile, they can get that stealth hit and go in between those 2. Now they cannot do that if you have a 3MP figure that can then just move in and get the surround. So that's personally why I always have 2-3 MP figures. So it depends on your style. You know, I don't run a gold block, that's not my style. I compensate that for, I think, by good defense, which saves me that card, and very good offense in my short game is very much where I try and win. And then it comes into long game where you've got just getting your figures into the right positions can make a big difference. As for that, any other comments, any bits of advice, let's put them down in the comments and I will pin them. Any key little tips that we think that will help Team Charizard to victory. There's just some simple things, but I think investing in your figures now, getting them experience, getting them to level 5. Some of the figures, it's critical because like your Mew, you get rid of that 1%, one part of the wheel that is a miss, and it can save you, you know, not having that. It can save you not only from that horrible RNG when you land it and then land the miss, but also like being confused, it switches it on to stealth it if you pull the 30 hypersonic rather than onto the miss. So put that into your figures. And the final tip is make use of good uncommon and rare figures. So if you are lacking in the EX department, there's a good amount of uncommon figures that you can use to help boost your squad. So let's just kind of look through it, and I'll pick out the key guys you want to be putting in your deck if you're running out of people to have. So first off is probably the best uncommon figure is Poliwhirl. Mine's at level 10 because it's easy to upgrade him. I think it's only 20 a piece to upgrade, so you need 100 to upgrade him full. And that being able to shift your opponent's spins, shifted 2 segments in the clockwise direction, such a good strategy in terms of taking on the Swords of Justice are really weak to it. So you've Virizion, Cobalion, and Terrakion. So he's a really good figure to have. Attack Deoxys, you can hit that 130 Psycho Boost, spin it onto Dimensional Slip, and backed up with a nice Hypnosis and 252 and 42 attack. Good attacks for taking out Mews. Just be careful of that Hypnosis. So he's a figure that you definitely have to have in your squad if you are running out of people to have good EX figures to compete. They're in the kind of top ranks at the moment. Next up, I'd probably put Vibrava in there for sure. Vibrava is a great figure to have for tactical play. My deck will probably rinse Vibrava because obviously his biggest weakness is yellow discs. But if you're playing a squad that doesn't have many, his Supersonic is an awesome attack to confuse opponents. Backs up with Mudshot and Dragon Breath at 72, so he can take out opponents. But it's just that ability to control games with his vibrating sound. So learn how to play with him before you use him, get him into the right positions. I find if you get him into the position right next to your goal, so the position, that same line coming down, then you got your goal, and then there's this point here, it's 2 points away from the entry point. Put him there and have somebody else around that region, or somebody on your bench. And when people advance, always have somebody, if you can have Vibrava there, and when you move up from running, that goes to the middle, left of that, put somebody there, right? And that's a huge Vibrava trap in that if a Pokemon tries to advance on your goal from that side, are you with me? It will get trapped and is vulnerable to a surround. It will get trapped if it goes in directly in the middle, and then you can get a surround. So that's how I like to play Vibrava, in a defensive way. So try it out. Also, if you're playing against him, a nice little tip is jumping over your opponents with a gold attack. So I love to get my Zapdos jumping over a figure in those mid sections where Vibrava's holding. So then you have some good cover, and you can wait for that next attack. Because Vibrava will typically set up against somebody who doesn't have a huge yellow figure. Zapdos just comes over and then bang, yellow disced. So definitely use him as a figure. Shuppet, is a strong game. If you're playing for a kind of surround deck, use him tactically. Always a good option. Joltik is a good option if you want to give that +1, get that advantage across your team. Maybe put him in a defensive point because that electric thread is really big and nice. So actually, it gives you a good backup in the defensive region. Other than that, I would also put Vibrava, Joltik, and Poliwhirl. Yeah, I think that's all of them. In terms of rare figures, you've got a lot more choice, I think. In terms of, no, you may be able to pull off a Gabite Trickery. You've got obviously Magikarp going in that evolution into Gyarados because he's super strong. Hyper Beam's awesome, and so is Storm. I really rate Leafeon getting his sleep attacks in a grass deck is going to be awesome. Other than that, Grovyle is great for that evolution into. My squad at the moment would be fairly vulnerable to that Grovyle evolving to Sceptile, so definitely put that in as an option. That evolution in Sceptile, it makes him super strong. We're going for 100 Leaf Blade just without the extra spin. It's pretty nice. Yeah, Sableye, still an awesome figure. Defensively, very weak to yellow attacks though, above 70. So yeah, they're the kind of main rare guys. I do actually think, saying that there's more choice in rare, I think those uncommon figures are actually like in the top metas with, you know, Poliwhirl's just outside, you know. I'm tempted. I am going to play a bit. I'm tempted to swap Poliwhirl in. So I'm just going to see how it fares, see what the kind of frequency of sort of Justice figures are, attack Deoxys, and then I might change the squad up. But that for now is what I'm going with them. So just some tips on any backup good uncommon figures that will hopefully give you a good advantage as well. I will be doing a live stream as soon as the team event starts, so be sure to tune in for that. If you're on board at 9 AM UTC, come in the room. We'll have like a good hour and a half of just grinding out league matches. Hopefully see where we can, you know, like post wins on the comment site, so we can keep the win count and our win rate. So we'll see how well we can all do together. Hopefully get a little bit of a team morale built up, so we can make a big push in the start and, you know, just demoralize Team Blastoise and Team Venusaur. So I'm super excited for it. I cannot wait. It's obviously something very unique to the game that they haven't introduced yet, and that team aspect to it is going to be really fun. So be sure to tune in for that, 9 AM UTC this Monday. Okay, that's all from me. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. As I said, put your comments in below if you've got any more extra good tips. That's all from me. See you soon.